6 in the evening in Europe now, which makes it noon on the East Coast, 9 in the morning on the West Coast. That means it's time on Monday, September 30th, for the Access Arts Live weekly roundup of all the live streams of the performing arts that we could dig up for you this week. At least in this live stream, I will be telling you about the big guns, the opera, the ballet, the orchestral works. We'll do a second live stream a little later today. Some of you may not get it until tomorrow morning, for all of the chamber music and other kinds of works that we can find for you, including new live streams we've discovered coming from the Kennedy Center Millennium Stage. So look out for that second live stream. But for the first live stream, let's start right away with Tuesday night, our weekly roundup. Have I got the right text in front of me? No, absolutely not. I got to dig up the right text so I know what I'm talking about. It's my text is called Roundup Big Guns. All right, starting Tuesday night, 8 o'clock European time, 2 o'clock on the East Coast, 11 in the morning on the West Coast. Stage Plus is live streaming a concert for humanity, specifically the humanity that have been suffering and dying in Ukraine for the last couple of years. Over 1 million young Ukrainians and Russians have died there. It is a tragedy. However you feel about the politics, helping out the people who are suffering from it can't be wrong. So this is a concert with the Kyiv Symphony Orchestra, conducted by Stefan Frucht, with a number of soloists. The orchestra will play the Beethoven's Coriolan Overture. They'll play passage, the Hall of the Mountain King from the Peer Gynt Suite by Grieg. Then also there'll be the tenor Rolando Villazon. He'll sing some selections from Verdi. There'll be the violinist Daniel Hope, who'll be playing some music. It's film music by, among other things, by Miklos Rosa, Prelude and Love Theme from Spellbound, by Miroslav Skorik, the melody from The High Pass, and then Max Richter's recomposed Vivaldi Four Seasons Summer, the third of the seasons. Then Albrecht Meyer on the oboe will play some Bach and an oboe concerto. Charlotte Melkonian on the cello, play some David Popper, and some pieces by Robert Schumann, accompanied by Konstantin Schreiber on the piano. I cannot tell whether or not that is a free of charge live stream on Stage Plus, or whether you have to pay the €9.90 or $11 US to tune into it. But if you did, it would be worthwhile to support the people who are suffering in the Ukraine. Something tells me it may be live, and then they'd give you a link so you could donate. Then we move ahead all the way to Friday before we have anything big for you. But oh, do we have a great weekend coming from you? We've got both opera and ballet, and I so rarely get to tell our ballet lovers about live streams, but an extra copy of this live stream will go out to all the ballet groups that we are linked with on Facebook. Make sure you know about this. On Friday, October 4th at 7:45 in the evening in Europe, which is 1:45 in the afternoon on the East Coast, and 10:45, on the West Coast. The Teatro alla Scala will be live streaming its new production of Neumeyer's L'Adamo Camélia, which was based on the novel by Alexandre Dumas fils, which came out in 1848, a few months after the death of Marie Duplessis, whose story in turn inspired Verdi's Violetta and La Traviata. The music to this ballet is from Chopin, and it's filled with just stunning pas de deux, grand ball scenes, and wonderful solos. They've got two étoiles from La Scala who are dancing in this ballet. One is Nicoletta Mani. We will give you the link to both her and the étoile, who's her male counterpart in this ballet. She learned her craft art at the La Scala Academy Ballet School, and then she went away to Berlin for a few years to serve her apprenticeship. Then she was already back at La Scala in 2013, became a prima ballerina a year later, and just last year was finally named an étoile. And she's, she does everything with the company, and she's done Nureyev Swan Lake and Don Quixote and Sleeping Beauty. She's done George Balanchine pieces like Midsummer Night's Dream, The Nutcracker, and all of that. Opposite her, dancing the role of Armando Duval, is Roberto Bolle, who's been who was a principal with the American Ballet Theater for years, from like 2009 until 2019. Even while he's been an étoile at La Scala since 2004. But he's danced with everybody. To give you the list would be too many, but he's danced with ABT, with the the Ballet of the Opéra de Paris, with the Bolshoi, with the Mariinsky-Kirov Ballet, and with the British Royal Ballet. So that's going to be fireworks and worth tuning into, but it's not free of charge. Since it is Teatro alla Scala, there is a charge of $9.90 or 11 US dollars. And this ballet, very often they do replays of these live streams, but this ballet will not be replayed. You have got to catch it while it's happening. And in the production, it's mentioned that the Polish National Opera is involved, along with Teatro Wielki, but it doesn't explain what their role is in the production. Maybe it's going to be reprised in Poland. I don't know, but that's on Friday night, and it's terrific. Then on Saturday night, the Berlin Philharmonic is back with a concert conducted by Paavo Järvi, the Estonian, and with pianist Seong-Jin Cho. This is Saturday night at 7 in the evening, European time, 1 o'clock on the East Coast, 10 in the morning on the West Coast. Again, this is a €9.90 deal, or 11 US dollars, where you get a 1-week subscription to the Berlin Philharmonic. They'll be opening with a piece by another Estonian composer, Veljo Tormes, who I don't think is as well known as, say, Arvo Pärt, his countryman. And he's mostly has written choral music. So it's an Estonian opening evening. And then after that, they will do Shostakovich's Concerto for Piano and Trumpet with Seong-Jin Cho at the piano. He's their artist in residence this year, so they think very highly of him. And then they will, and now that's a somewhat, there's humor in that piece. It's sort of a parody of a typical piano concerto. And then in the second half, they're doing something much more serious, which is Bruckner's Symphony No. 1 in C minor. So it'll show you the versatility of that orchestra, about which would anyone have any doubt? I don't know. Before I go any further, I want to take a moment to show you some of the pictures of the people I'm talking about. Here are the people at the Concert for Humanity. I load these things up so I can show them to you, and then I forget about them because I'm so involved in talking to you. But here are the different artists that will be performing, the soloists that will be performing in the Concert for Humanity. Then we move on to, here is the marvelous Nicoletta Mani, the Étoile at La Scala Ballet. Here's another picture of her, and Roberto Bolle is like, you can't see this on Instagram, separate, you're on your own stream. You don't integrate with my multi-channel streamer. This is Roberto Bolle. That guy's like, I just picked out one of his most spectacular pictures. And here is Seong-Jin Cho, who will be playing the Shostakovich for you. Now we move on. We move forward to the last of the big numbers we have for you this week, and then I will be logging off. This is Teatro alla Scala's new production of L'Oronteia. This is Saturday night, a little bit later than the Berlin Philharmonic, so you have time to maybe choose. This too will cost you $9.90 in dollars. It's L'Oronteia. L'Oronteia is something that La Scala dug up as part of this project they're doing to look into the origins of Italian opera. And this is a piece that was composed by Antonio Cesti, or Cesti, if that's the correct Italian. It didn't debut in Italy, though. It debuted in Innsbruck in 1656, and everybody was doing it at that time, and then it just disappeared. Didn't get done anymore. Wasn't done again, I think, until 1961. And then it wasn't done a lot since after that. So the conductor, Giovanni Antonini, and the director, Robert Carson, are resuscitating it, bringing it back to life. Carson is the opera director who won acclaim recently for his staging of Handel's Julius Caesar. Anyway, we have two terrific leading singers in the principal roles. Playing the role of Orontea is Stephanie Doustrac, the French, I think she's a mezzo. She's the great-grandniece of Francis Poulenc and of Jacques de la Prelle, two great French composers. So she has it in her genes. She had her breakthrough about 20 years ago in 2002. She's a regular at the Glinberg Festival. To give you an idea of the kind of things she's up to, in January and February, she'll be playing Phoebe in the opera Castor and Pollux with the Paris Opera House. Then in April and May, she's playing Costanza and Monteverdi's Groteschi at La Monnaie in Brussels. And then in June, she'll be singing Carmen at La Monnaie in Brussels. And opposite her main man is the bass Mirko Palazzi, who he made his breakthrough about the same time in 2001. And he sung, if I gave you the list, we'd be here for another 10 minutes. But he sung with the Royal Opera House in London. He sung in Barcelona with the Deutsche Oper in Berlin, with La Scala. He sang at BBC Proms, Edinburgh, Wexford. He sings Figaro. He sings Don Giovanni. He sings Don Basilio in The Barber of Seville, Raimondo, and Lucia de l'Amore, and Banco in I don't want to say the name of that piece, the Scottish piece. Anyway, and he goes around singing Mozart and Verdi requiems also. Now, in the second roles is Francesca Pia Vitale singing Silandra, and Hugh Cutting singing the role of Corindo. But I just can't give you all the information, the bios of everybody, because it's too much. But I can show you a photo of Stephanie Doustrac singing, and the guy opposite her. Here's another picture of her on stage with a knife in her hand playing Sesto. And then here's a picture of Mirkos Palazzi, who will be singing opposite her. These are two fine singers. They are both étoiles of La Scala, so you know it's high quality. That's what we have for you this week, all along the week. A benefit concert for people in Ukraine. How can anyone be against that? Then this terrific ballet, which we're so happy to be able to tell you about. Then a high-level concert by the Berlin Philharmonic, and finishing up on Saturday, the last of the four, with another opera, which you probably have not heard before because they just dug it up. By La Scala, but you know it's going to be a high quality production because of who they put into it, because it's La Scala. And I'm still not sure what the Poles have to do with any of this, but they're involved in it with La Scala. Now, I want to remind you, if you don't want to miss any of these announcements, we put out a lot more announcements during the week. The main ones are on Monday and Friday, but we're giving out announcements and posting bulletins all week long. If you subscribe to us on YouTube and or on Facebook, you'll be sure you don't miss any of it. And we're really trying to build up our YouTube subscribers. So go there and subscribe, and you'll get all this stuff. You'll get notifications, and then you don't have to think about it, or you're not going to miss it. Well, that's this week. I'll be back a little later this evening with a live stream to go over all of the chamber music and other kinds of things we have for you this week. But we're trying to limit the length of the individual live streams so that you're not logging on to something for 25 minutes, because people don't watch for 25 minutes. In fact, many of them are not even going to watch for the 14 minutes and 13 seconds that this one is taken.